Jamie Whittaker likes to remember his son Eric at his best, the funny bloke making his aunties cackle, dancing like Michael Jackson and doting on his children. Then, when he shuts his eyes, he sees his son on a hospital bed, machines pumping oxygen to keep him alive. His eyes are closed. If it weren't for the tubes and monitors, he could be sleeping. But it is the sight of Eric Whittaker's feet that haunts his father. They lie limp on white bed linen, chained together with shackles. There was no dignity, he said. It's like he's an animal. It's not as if he could get up and run away. 26 years after the 1991 Royal Commission into Aboriginal Deaths in Custody recommended restraints be used as a last resort, prison guards in a Sydney hospital shackled a dying, unconscious Indigenous man. This is the scene that confronted distraught family members, captured in a photograph they now want people to see. It has been almost 5 months since life support was turned off and the 36-year-old Mr. Whittaker died in custody at Westmead Hospital in Sydney following an aneurysm. Corrective services say Mr. Whittaker was treated in line with protocol. They are not treating his death as suspicious. But the family say they are still in the dark about many of the basic facts surrounding his death. The family should get a very straight story, said Corrective Services Commissioner Peter Severin, who agreed to speak with the Sun Herald about the case. Eric Whittaker was arrested on Tuesday, June the 27th. No stranger to police, he was a drug abuser and homeless when officers charged him with offences including possession of stolen goods, carrying a knife in a public place and failure to appear before court. Bail was refused, most probably because of his inability to have a place of residence, Mr. Severin said. On the evening of Friday, June the 30th, he was transferred from Surrey Hills to Parklea Jail in Sydney's northwest. On arrival, he was automatically classified as a maximum security inmate because Parklea does not conduct security assessments on weekends. About 8 a.m. on Sunday, July the 2nd, corrections officers realized something was wrong, they said. Doctors were later told Mr. Whittaker had been in an isolation cell, incontinent, agitated and handcuffed, the Sun Herald understands. He had trashed his cell, Mr. Severin said. He was incoherent, he was quite uncontrollable, so that's when medical intervention immediately commences. But the family say they were given different versions of events by hospital staff, police and corrective services. Some were told he had collapsed in an exercise yard, others that he fell in his cell. Mr. Severin said if the family received different information, that is very regrettable. In the infirmary at Parklea Jail on the Sunday morning, Mr. Whittaker's condition was worsening. He was rushed in an ambulance to Blacktown Hospital at 10:47 am, bound hand and foot, under the supervision of 2 guards. Combative on arrival, his condition then deteriorated further, the Sun Herald understands. Doctors put a breathing tube down his throat, after which he went into cardiac arrest. A brain scan revealed the aneurysm and bleeding.